Morning, B.
Good morning, Mom. How you doing, beautiful butterfly?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Good, good,
I'm
good.
okay.
And welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Peace family. This is your co-host, Brandon, the Gladiator Gator, known as a mixed martial artist, a professional fighter, but also as just as a regular guy, regular son, someone trying to be the best son that I can be, and the main host, sipping her coffee, getting ready for the day, is the beautiful butterfly, Miss Tammy Gator Miller. And we are here
Coffee
today.
is yucky.
Oh wow, sometimes it be like that. See me, I get
I
my
know.
wife made
I'm like, what did
mine.
I do
My wife
different?
made mine. But welcome
I tell
everybody.
your
We are
wife
here
come make
on
mine.
my wife. We are here on the 14th day of our celebration of Black History Month, our acknowledgement of Black history in America, our collective story, our collective struggle, acknowledging our past,
Yes.
existing in our presence, and looking forward to the future. So, in celebration of Black History Month, my mother and I decided to read every single morning right here at 7 a.m. To read a book titled Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro, who is the best selling author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. This book is full of motivations, one for each day, each 365 day of the year, where it gives you all types of good things for you to help you grow, helps you discover how to use the present moment, your own gifts, to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, and become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and how to look inward for answers to life's challenges. So it focuses on your thoughts, your attitudes, your deeds, and all the things that lead you to the true achievement of your goals. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year, but what it teaches you will last a lifetime. We decided to do this because we thought, not only would this be good for us to do, to have uh, um, a book that we read together, but we thought that this would be good for you guys too. So again, if you're joining us, whether it's on Facebook, if you're joining us on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to End This Season podcast. And if you're on Instagram Live, thank y'all for rocking with me and joining with me through the Gladiator Instagram page. So again, we're reading the book Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. Please get the book and read along. We will be completing this for the rest of the month. We're about halfway through, folks. So please, please, please make sure you invite other people to not only witness this, but to benefit from this and to spread it to all your loved ones and all your friends. So Mom, good morning, sweetie. Before we jump into it, how was your day
Good
yesterday?
morning.
How was it?
Whew. Yesterday was hard. It was a hard day for me yesterday. So I'm I'm in my something this morning. Didn't sleep, and I'm sure it's because of all the stuff that went on yesterday. But I'm okay. It
Yeah,
happens. It happens. So yeah,
there you go. Everything happens for a reason, right?
yeah, yeah,
Everything happens
yeah.
for a reason. So it was one of our that was one of our titles in the book a few days ago, maybe a week or so ago. So we're using these daily motivations to not only motivate ourselves, but at the end of every motivation, there's an affirmation that we decide to take with us. We say it 3 times to kind of make sure to drill it down into our consciousness and our subconscious, so that we carry the light and the education and the goodness that we get from that throughout the day, and we spread that same light to others. So please share anything that you learn here, anything that resonates with you. That's the point, to spread this good news, to spread this delightful word for the day, this motivation, this affirmation. And also at the beginning of every single passage that we read, there's a quote from distinguished African Americans, from Martin Luther King to Malcolm X, and others. So please make sure that you share this. This is something that's really changed my life and changed my mother's life, I think, as well. But about yesterday, Mom, in quick review, uh, it was the mask. We were talking about the mask that people put on, that we ourselves may put on, um, in order to conform or to normalize ourselves around others in different situations, or just to put our, what we want people to see forward, as opposed to being who we actually are and our authentic selves. I'll speak for myself. I was thinking about that yesterday, and I started to notice the inclinations, or just the influences to make you want to put on a mask. So I did my best yesterday to fight those. I did my best to recognize when my hand was reaching for a mask. Maybe I didn't put it all the way on because I just read this affirmation, but who knows? Had I not read this passage in affirmation, maybe I would have just went and did like this, So, oh yeah, I'll just put it right on, and nobody will notice that it's not really me.
Wow,
Right? So
Brandon,
I
that's deep.
started to make those distinctions. I could feel my hand reaching internally for
Mm.
the mask, and I said, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna put that on. I'm gonna just. I'd rather be silent than than put this mask on. And sometimes the mask isn't in words. Sometimes it's in deeds. Sometimes it's in the places that you go. Sometimes it's in the people that you entertain. Sometimes it's in the people. It's in what you say, and sometimes it's in what you don't say. So sometimes the masks aren't always what we think they are. Sometimes they're a little bit more nuanced and covert, if you will. So be sure to recognize any masks that you're wearing, and whether or not that mask really serves you, the real you, and why. If it serves the real you, do you have to put it over your real face, your real personality, your real character, your real integrity? So I'm not going to be
Hey,
long
Brandon,
winded on that.
if I, that's okay. If I may, that was beautiful. Especially you said I reached for my mask. You guys think about that today, because if truth be told, we all have worn it. We will wear it again. But what you just said is so powerful, because when you hear things like this, like yesterday's message, and then you make it applicable in your life, like Brandon said, I realized that I was reaching for the mask. And so why is so important, and you have to ask yourself why more than you ask others why. I'm trying not to ask, well, why did you do this, well, why did you say this, I ask, why from this person mean something to me? Why do I need the answer to their why? Because I
Mm-hmm.
want to mind my business first, if y'all remember that one. But do an inventory. Think about, when's the last time you put that mask on, and why? Who were you trying to impress? What inadequacy, is that a word? You were trying to make sure they didn't show up, that or see, because it takes more work with the mask on than it does off. It really does, you guys. It takes more work in this world to exist in this world with a mask on than it does off. So
Mm.
thank you, Frank. Thank you for that, Brandon.
No problem. I'm doing my best to, especially in this, if I'm expecting for other people to really grow from this, then I need to be an example of that myself, and make sure that I'm being as transparent as I can, not only with you guys, but with myself and with the people closest to me, so that they can hold me accountable um, for what I'm learning. Because I think I don't think knowledge. I know the old adage is knowledge is power, but I think knowledge um, that is acted upon is power. But knowledge in itself is just knowledge. It doesn't really touch anyone. It doesn't fix anything until you put action behind it, until you put deed behind it. So I think sometimes, speaking to myself first, I get so caught up in gaining knowledge that sometimes I'll lose sight of the application of it, because I'm going to get more knowledge instead of acting on what I do know right now. So without going too deep today on yesterday's podcast and description and passage, we are going to jump into today's passage. So today's passage for February the 14th, and shout out to all the couples out there that are celebrating this love day. guys, I hope you didn't forget before your wife, your girl, or your husband or whoever wakes up, make sure you got something planned. We yesterday the grocery store and Walmart and Kroger and all that were packed, and we looked around like, what's going on, man? And people were in there, mostly men, scrambling around to get things for today. Me and my wife don't really do a whole lot right there. Every day is love day. We really spoil each other, but I'm gonna still do something. I'm gonna still do something nice just because it's a good thing to do. But we don't get caught up in the consumerism and all of that. So just wanted to put that out there for all the people to give you a heads up, man. This is me being a good bro to you. So let's jump right into it for February the 14th. It is titled "Love Never Takes a Holiday." Oh, I didn't even read that title before. Love never takes a holiday. So what I just said, me and my wife, every day is love day for us, and this title, "Love Never Takes a Holiday," is so appropriate to that. Um, the Speaking of a name that we brought up recently in this podcast, Maya
Ooh.
Angelou, who is a writer, has given us our quote for today. So again, the title is "Love Never Takes a Holiday," and the quote from a distinguished African American is from Maya Angelou, a famous writer and poet. "My great hope is to laugh as much as I cry, to get my work done and try to love somebody and have the courage to accept the love in return." The courage to accept the love in return. I'll read that one more time and let it soak in. "My great hope is to laugh as much as I cry, to get my work done and try to love somebody and have the courage to accept the love in return." What do you think about that, Mom, before we jump into the passage?
I think so much about it. It's the first one that I'm trying to get typed in to put it out there. I just started. I got my great on the screen, but I'm going to type this one up.
All
Wow. And
right.
the deepest part to me is and have the courage to accept the love in return.
Mm.
You know, um, try to love somebody and have the courage to accept the love in return. I
We're
just
gonna have to
want to
get
jump
into
in. I just want to
that.
jump in. Let's go. Let's
Let's go.
go.
Let's go.
Yes, because we're
All
already at
right.
7.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm starting with that passage again. The title: "Love Never Takes a Holiday." Years ago, my youngest daughter asked, "Why does Valentine's Day come only once a year?"
Mm,
For a little girl, the excitement of making simple but colorful valentines, adding a little message in a childish scrawl, and giving them to all her friends was something very special. And best of all, my daughter received just as many notes and gifts as she gave. I tried to explain a bit of the history of Valentine's Day. My wife thoughtfully added, quote, "It doesn't have to come only once a year. It can be any time you want it to be." Surprisingly, my daughter kept that thought, and even now, years later, she sends us little notes composed during her caring moments, not only on Valentine's Day. My wife and I do the same. Valentine's Day is special, but a thoughtful note can brighten any day. Love is sharing a part of yourself with others, says Clara, Mother Hale. This practice has paid dividends for our family. Perhaps it can do the same for yours. We've found that love never takes a holiday.
mm,
And the affirmation today that I'll read 3 times at the conclusion of this passage is: "Love is a little word, but I will make it grow." Love is a little word, but I will make it grow. And last time, say it with me: "Love is a
it's a
little
little
word,
word.
but I will make it grow."
Make it grow.
So first thoughts, first blush, what you get from that, Butterfly?
So, as I mentioned, yesterday was hard. Was a hard day. Was a very difficult, heartfelt day. And I was having a conversation with a young lady last night about. I was driving in from home, and I had this thought: because of some of the things that had, well, because of the things that had happened yesterday, that I had a thought that, Tammy, I believe your transformation, your change has finally reached your heart. Because a change of the heart is a change. I'm telling you, it is. It's a different kind of thing. And so by that, Brandon, I felt kind of like you yesterday, because I always tell the story of how Muslims, if you say you like something, they force it on you, like it's yours. You want it, you can have it. They try to give it to you. So I've had this happen once in my life where I kept telling this lady, I love that red scarf. I love your scarf. And I was at church, and finally I said it enough to where she's like, you know what? This is your scarf. And she gave it to me, and I still have it. And that was probably 12, 13, no, more than that, probably 20 years ago. And so yesterday I had an encounter with someone, and instantly when I saw them, I felt their heaviness. Like I felt it so heavy that it manifested all through me, all day, and then all through last night as well. But she said to me, she said, "Where did you get that necklace? I really, really like that." And I had this necklace so long, I can't remember, and just decided to pick it up yesterday. I haven't worn it, and I can't tell you when. Um, and I reached down because I needed to remember what necklace I had on. And I reached down, and as I was touching it, I just heard, "Give it to her." And I like, y'all know how we do. Now, this is a necklace I haven't even worn or probably seen in ages, right? So,
Mm,
but I'm still questioning, like, give it to her. So
mm,
finally said, okay, this necklace is yours. You can have it. It's yours. And she was just elated for sure. And it was deeper than that for me. It was much more deeper. And there were some other things happen. But as going back to on the way home, when I started to think about, there's such a change in you, Tammy. Like there's such a change in just, and not saying that I was a bad person, for sure not, but I was a hurting bad person. As you said, sometimes you do things for the
mm,
mask. The mask will cause
mm,
you to
mm,
do things that really aren't even genuine.
mm,
It's to satisfy the mask. So love, when you have, this is good for me, because I feel like when you have a change of heart, when your heart
mm,
transforms, you love differently. You love without, it's the agape love. You love without conditions, without expectations. When and if someone says the wrong thing, does the wrong thing, because we are human and we're going to, it doesn't sting like it used to. And I don't need to, it doesn't destroy the relationship, if that matters. Now, there has to be a relationship, it doesn't destroy the relationship. I can keep going. And so I'm,
mm,
I'm grateful for that. And this confirms again, love doesn't, what does it says? Love doesn't love never takes a holiday. Think about, what if we did for each other once a month what we do on Valentine's? And I'm gonna turn it back over to you. I remember being in Walgreens some years back, because we don't do the Valentine's Day either. Like, so I'm so over it and have been for a very long time. But I remember being in there, and these men were in there, and they didn't look joyful. They didn't look like their hearts were in the gifts that they were buying. They looked stressed. They looked like they did not want to be there buying anything, and they probably didn't.
mm.
So that's my piece today.
Yeah, the
I want
love.
you.
Okay, for me, love never takes a holiday. That resonates with me because there's something undermining about the
Mm,
days that we claim as holy, as a holiday, holy day. Um, it's something that undermines it once we make the focus our consumerism, and we force others. And this kind of leads me to what we were talking about yesterday, the mass. There are a lot of brothers out there that, and probably sisters too, but there's a major focus on the brothers gifting their significant others, and giving is supposed to be joyful. If you don't give with with that joy, you're almost undermining the act in itself. The intention, in my opinion, has more weight than the cost or the price of your gift, right? Or the worth of your gift. I think we're really going to where we're focusing more on quantity than quality. Because how much did it mean to the little girl to make little cutouts, that we read about in this passage and write something on it and to give, and how much did it mean for her to receive those things? Those weren't diamonds, those weren't rubies, that wasn't a new Valentine's Day card. That wasn't this 5-star meal and a vacation trip for Valentine's Day. It was something sweet and simple. It was a reminder that love is there. It was a reminder of affinity, and it's often that being thoughtful trumps um, being excessive in a sense. And I'll just say that specifically. And if it's not in your relationship, if being thoughtful does not trump being excessive, then maybe you should analyze and revisit the values between you and your partner, because values of consumerism, values of excessiveness, eventually lead to nihilism. Nihilism being a focus and almost a worship of your own desires, right? And which leads to dissatisfaction, because there's always something to obtain. There's always something to be discontent about. There's always something that you have to upgrade, right? As far as in material. But love is infinite. It never takes a day off. It's something that you can't touch. It's something that's not tangible. It's something that you can't buy, right? So with love never taking a holiday, because love existed before holidays and it will exist after holidays. Like I used to celebrate Valentine's Day adamantly, especially as a teenager, having your growing up, having girlfriends and stuff like that. I remember being a teenager and going out and buying a ruby necklace as a teenager. You remember that, mama? Don't look at me like that. I think you're on mute too, but the look was enough. I heard enough in the look. But as a teenager, buying a ruby necklace for my girlfriend at the time, and lo and behold, I ain't talked to that girl in a long time. God bless her soul. She cool as a fan, but I ain't talked to her in a long time. But it was nice. It was nice at the time. But as of now, I look to do more qualitative things. And not to say that wasn't appreciated, but I think what really goes further is creating the moments of love. So for me, love doesn't take a day off. And the affirmation that's in love is a little word, but I will make it grow. How do we make love grow? When I got married, we had our wedding at my wife's family's ranch in Mexico, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And one of the ceremonies that we did was we started a fire, and every person that was at our wedding added something to that fire, added a piece of wood to that fire, and gave us some advice as a couple, as a newly married couple, about after they put the wood in the fire. And that was, I still remember so many of the things that the people said and the advice that they gave for our marriage. And one of the ones that stuck with me was always feed your fire. Always add wood to the fire of your love. Because that fire can the heat can go down. The light of the flame can be tempered by time. So that's a reminder to me to do those little things to show that you love them. The little notes. You know, me and my wife like doing that. We'll write little notes and leave little stickies on the wall or on the refrigerator, or surprise each other in that way. We had little things where I was born on August the 13th. She was born on September the 21st. So anytime, like at 9:21 a.m. or 9:21 p.m., we could be in the same house but in different rooms. But I'll text her time, and she'll look, and it's 9:21. That's her birthday. Or I'll be out or something at 8:13 a.m. or something, and you know, going to work on something, and I'll get a text and be like time, or she'll just send me a happy face at that exact time, and it's something that we know. So these little inside jokes, that's the for me that means so much more to me to get that on a daily basis than some new outfit or something. You know what I mean on Valentine's Day.
Holiday.
I would rather right. So like every day becomes holy, becomes celebrated, and by holy, I start holy with a uh, you know both holy as far as our divine connection, but also holy meaning wholesome. My day is fulfilled with these little things as opposed to being empty the rest of the year. And then on Valentine's Day, oh, this is what you mean to me, something that I purchased. So that for me, adding wood to the fire of your love, trying to keep that fire alive, for me has paid dividends. And there was reference to dividends here. What is a dividend, right? Let's really analyze that. Because mom, I like to trade stocks and invest and
I
things
know.
like that.
Go.
And it says Valentine's Day is special, but a thoughtful note can brighten any day. Love is sharing a part of yourself with others. This practice has paid dividends for our family. Perhaps we can do the same for yours. We found that love never takes a holiday. What is a dividend, right? A dividend is, if I can be real brief with you guys, is when you purchase stock, when you purchase equity, you purchase shares in a company, right? And just for having those shares, that company pays you an amount annually, quarterly, or biannually. So imagine you go buy, 100 shares of Apple, right? Microsoft or Tesla. And these aren't dividend stocks. But like Verizon, say you go and buy shares of Verizon, and every single quarter, they give you 67 cents for every share that you have, right? If you got a million shares, you're going to get a good chunk of change every quarter, and you don't lose your original purchase. So that's what dividends is, something that pays you over time. There's a return that comes to you over time just for holding your just for purchasing and holding your stock in that company. So now let's take this for our families. Just for committing to this love, committing to this family, uh, you are actually getting value back into you. They're actually you pour into good people. Those good people will also pour into you, and so it leads me back into the quote from Maya Angelou, where she says, "My great hope is to laugh as much as I cry, to get my work done and try to love somebody, and the part that stuck up to my mother, and have the courage to accept the love in return." The love in return is the dividend, right? That's the dividend. That's the continued additional value that you get over time just for having that relationship and maintaining that relationship that you have with your most cherished people, right? So, but it takes courage. It takes courage because I know people. I know people in my own family and my own friends that because of what they went through, because of what they didn't have growing up, I think it has created, I don't want to call it a hole, but I will call it a um, a degree of selflessness that does not benefit them or the person that they're loving.
Hmm.
And I say that because have you ever seen someone that could give you the world, but boy, if you try to give them a piece of dirt, it just really rattles. And I'm speaking of myself, you know, um, I
or
feel
just a
like,
compliment,
you,
just a compliment,
or
Brandon.
just, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, just simple as a compliment. If I may, because it's 7:30. I also this part, love is sharing a part of yourself with others. Love is sharing a
Mm-hmm.
part of yourself with others.
Mm,
And it's the part for me, a part of yourself. And I think a lot of times we're not sharing parts, we're giving parts away. There's a difference between sharing and giving yourself away. Because in
right.
giving yourself away, it's going to leave you empty. And most times we're starting half full.
And what does that look like, right? Like, what does starting half full, is that a lot? And full of what? The love? Like, so for me, it's like, do we have enough love for ourselves to give?
To
Because
share.
we accept the love we think we deserve. So if you're not accepting love, but you're constantly giving love, but you're not accepting love, then of course you're pouring out and not being filled back in. And not saying
Yes.
that you need other people's validation, but we are social beings. God did create us in families and tribes so that we might get to know one another and to form these kinships. So if you're not accepting that love, then to me it tells me that you have a higher value of love for someone else than you do for yourself. So they deserve the love that you're giving, but you don't deserve it. That's why you're not accepting it. You know what I mean? And there's no humility in not accepting love. It's to me it's an arrogance in your devaluation. It's an
Yes.
arrogance, or an assumption of um, of your lack of value, and I think that's a grave miscalculation. If you can't accept love, then that needs to be handled, because if not, your love will that the love that you give out will be shallow. It will be without substance. It'll be the Valentine's Day that only comes once a year. It won't be those little parts, because love is communication of the heart. I say I love you. If I say I love you to my mother, she says it back. If I whisper to you, it's very easy to whisper back. How weird would it be for me to whisper to you like right now, and then someone yell back at you? We tune to one another, to meet each other wherever we are. So if you're not loving yourself, but you're loving me, that produces this false calculation and this false assessment about what love really is. And now we're spreading that corrupt form of love around the world, which ends up devolving into consumerism, which ends up devolving into materialism, which ends up devolving into hyper capitalistic states where we value products more than people, you know?
Mm.
So I always say, that famous quote, love people and use things, not the other way around. Because sometimes we're using each other to fulfill that whole, like, I love them, so that makes me feel good for the moment. But really, I don't love myself. So I have to keep doing that to get that feeling. I have to get that that jolt of energy, that drug of love, as opposed to that wholesome, nutrient dense love. So that's all I got for this one. Anything else you want to add,
it,
Mom?
it, it's what you were just saying. It's a form of sometimes we're doing it in order to be able to keep the mask on. You said
Mm,
because thinking that because if you're doing that, then you don't think highly of yourself. And I know we think we do, but going back to it's sharing parts of you.
mm,
So how can you share parts of you that you've already given away? So we're running around empty. And when someone says something, does something, breaks up with us, don't get us flowers on today, don't even call and say Happy Valentine's Day, that will tear us apart. But they've treated you wrong the entire year. I mean, seriously, and we'll do it after Valentine's. So I want to say this before we go. Let's look at it like this: love never takes a holiday with you loving you. Let's start there. Don't take a holiday on loving yourself.
Hmm.
Don't take a holiday on being able to accept love.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Don't do
I
it.
want to give a quick second to shout out everybody that's in the chat. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, Dot Skrilla, hey, what's up? What up, Cuz? What up, Ma? What up, Mario? Love you, man. I appreciate you showing up, man. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Reggie Rhodes.
Yeah,
Appreciate you coming in and listening to the conversation, man. It's been a long time, y'all.
I
We got some
know,
good
right?
people in here today, man. I feel so happy to see my cousin Mario on here, man. I got so much
Mario?
love for you, Mario. Yeah, yeah, Mario's
Mario?
here, man. That's my
Oh my.
dude right there. Um,
And
Shout out
Reggie,
to, like
Reggie,
I
where
said,
have you been?
Reggie,
I need you in
long
my life right
time.
now.
Brenda
Hmm?
Davis, good to see you. Appreciate you
Yes.
coming out.
Victoria.
Much love. And my cousin, my baby girl cousin, she's more like a sister to me, Victoria. We gotta catch up. We gotta catch up, cuz. Um, I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all rocking with us today. Remember, love never takes a holiday. Going back to that affirmation, love is a little word, but I will make it grow. You're gonna make it grow, but make sure that you put it in good soil. Don't plant your seed in barren
Ooh.
ground.
Ooh.
Don't plant your love seed in barren ground. That's not a good gardener. It's not a good gardener. So think about it. Where are you gonna plant that love seed first? First thing you need to do is make sure you got that love seed inside of yourself. Make sure you love yourself, no matter what you got on, no matter
Mm.
what you're doing, no matter how much validation you got. When you can walk out, you know, when you really woke up like this, when you really woke up with value and intention, and you know how much you're worth, it's you're not wearing the clothes. I mean, the clothes ain't wearing you. You wearing the clothes. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter whether you're dripped out in $1 million or whether you got on a bathrobe because you just got out the tub. You're still worth the same amount. And so let's make sure that we plant that seed inside of ourselves. So when it grows, it can bear fruit, and those seeds can go to other places. But if it ain't got roots within good ground, it's not going anywhere. It's not growing. It's not even gonna get. It's not even gonna reach toward the sun because it can't get its own roots. So take today and remember that love never takes a holiday, even though today is considered a holiday, and let that seed grow. So we're gonna end
Hey,
today the same
can,
way.
can I can I do one
Yeah.
more thing? I need to give a
Mm-hmm.
shout out to my beautiful mother who's been rocking with us almost every day. I think she's only missed
Mm-hmm.
one day, so she's rocking with us backstage. And Bojack girl, and she's been rocking with us since Butterfly Evolution Radio, like from
Oh
way,
wow.
way, 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 way back.
Wow.
She's probably, I don't know how many shows she's listened to, but it's a lot. So they're in backstage. So I just wanted to give them a big shout out as well. And Brandon, I think you said about the clothes. How did you say that? Clothes wearing you, whatever, right? What did you say about the clothes? About if you
I
get
said
out?
when you really when you have so much self value of yourself internally. This is for me. I'm speaking for me, and everybody has their own kind of way of looking at it and way of feeling about it. But it's good to feel like you are wearing the clothes ain't wearing you.
You know what
If
I
that
thought
makes sense.
about? You know what I
What's
thought
up?
about? The young man used to come into work. I had a part-time job, and I mentioned this. He'd come in, Miss Tammy, and this he'd come in bouncing, Miss Tammy, is pimping wearing you, or you wearing the pimp? So, and y'all,
Like you
I know
spit.
the word pimping, but and I still to this day think about him and what, because you could just have to laugh at him. It's just the way he bounced in every day, full of life, Miss Tammy, you know. So that when you said the clothes, I thought about it. That's my question to y'all: pimping wearing you, or you wearing the pimping? All right.
That pimp. That's such a Memphis. That's such a Memphis thing. You wearing the pimping or is the pimping wearing you?
Yeah. And I could,
It's city.
life. You could just change pimping with life. That's kind of what he meant.
Right.
What
Right.
you
Oh yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's my question for y'all. Pimping wearing you, or you wearing the pimping? And bounce with it when you ask yourself the question. Do the
Gotta
Memphis
bounce
bounce,
with
right? Yeah, bounce with it, bounce with it.
it. Look at that. It looks like your day is starting off beautiful, Mom. I know you said
It
yesterday
is. I mean, I
you
was
had a rough
crying. I
day.
just have to get over what I saw with my heart yesterday. I was seeing with my heart, and it broke my heart for a minute because. But I'll say this, you guys. I was in the bathroom, and I was talking to myself about this lady because it was a whole thing yesterday. And I heard these words: don't feel sorry for who I send in the wilderness. Just pray for her. That's, I'm telling you, I heard it clear as day. And I said, okay, okay. And don't feel sorry for the person I sent in the wilderness. So, pimping wearing
Mm.
you, and you wearing the pimping, right?
That's right. That's right. I'm wearing the pimping today. That's gonna be my. I'm gonna put that on my status.
I'm wearing the pimping for the
Let
rest of
everybody
my
see
life.
it. You wearing the pimping. Put your coat on.
Yeah, for the rest of my
That's
life.
me.
Y'all do
That's
that
me.
today. Y'all think about us today. Somebody's gonna be saying that today to themselves.
Yeah.
I
When,
know
when
it.
when you walk, just have a little bounce with you. You know, just a little, have a little pimping, wearing the pimping
It's
bounce.
it's like Kasali. When you today ask Kasali, say, Kasali, who's got the keys to the Jeep? Just say that, okay? Don't
I
forget.
already know. Okay.
Huh?
I got you.
Don't forget.
I said okay. I'm
I'll
gonna do
share that with y'all tomorrow. Just ask baby girl who's got the keys to the Jeep. And then you come back tomorrow and
it.
tell us what she says.
All right. What you teaching my dog? Okay. No, I just play. All
That
right,
she
y'all. We're
got
gonna
the
wrap
keys
it up.
to the Jeep.
We're gonna
All
wrap
right.
it up today.
Y'all made
Again,
me
this
feel
is.
better today. I needed this morning. Thank you.
Oh man, no problem. Thank you, Mama. Thank you for doing this. Guys, we're reading from Dennis Kimbro's, the best-selling author of Think and Grow Rich: A Black Choice. Thank y'all for rocking with us. If you can't get this book, if you are not an avid reader, this is a great thing to start reading. It's very low impact. Every day is the new passage. It's only one page for each day, giving you daily motivations and affirmations to carry with you throughout the day to give you that extra push, that extra gas. So it's a real easy read, and it also gives a quote at the beginning of each passage from distinguished African Americans, such as Maya Angelou, Malcolm X, people like that. So this is something real good for you guys to pick up. Again, this will lead you to the achievement of your true goals. It'll let you analyze yourself, do some internal work, and take some internal inventory of yourself so that when you go out there, you're moving solid. You're standing on principles. You're standing on morals. You're 10 toes down and whatever you are doing. So please get this book and rock with us every morning at 7 a.m. And we're going to end this show the same way we do every single day by reading the affirmation 3 times, one for me, one for you, and one for the people in the back who you're going to share this with and invite for tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm going to read it now. It says, love is a little word, but I will make it grow. Love is a little word, but I will make it grow. And last time, y'all say it with me. Love is a
Love is
little word, but
but
I will make
I
it grow.
make it grow.
All right, y'all. I love
Peace.
y'all. Peace, family. We'll
Love
see
you.
y'all tomorrow, 7 a.m. Comment, share
Share
this,
this video.
and we'll be back.
All right.
Bless.
Thanks, everyone.